Hello, welcome to Be a Better Person, my channel all about self-improvement, kindness, gratitude, happiness, forgiving yourself, many things. But today's thing I want to talk about is gratitude. So I think I'm going to speak for myself on this one. There was a big amount of time where I wasn't very grateful and always thought that I wanted more and I wasn't doing what I should have done and I wasn't where I should have been in this life and I should have had more and I should have been more successful. And then I said, no, stop. I should be grateful for all the things I have. So I'm going to tell you a couple little stories. I think my picture's crooked, but whatever. Sorry. This is still a story about some of the adversity that I went through in my youth. So there's a few things. I mean, I went through a lot by the time I was probably 18 years old, and most people go through probably even 30 years. I think it was mainly because my father was in the service. That was part of it. But before I turned 18, and I might have talked to these things really quick, I just want to go through, I think it was like 12 different schools, 2 adoptions, 3 divorces with my mom, moved, I don't know, multiple times. But I think still overall, the majority of the time I was a carefree, happy person. I didn't have behavioral issues. Still went through times of, being upset about things, maybe feeling like didn't have loyal friends, maybe feeling lonely, maybe feeling things like that. But overall, I still think I was pretty happy. After my mom's second divorce, we moved back to Michigan from Florida. And we were poor. I love my mom dearly. She got laid off from a company and then kind of just gave up, I think, most of the rest of her life of really trying. She went on welfare, ended up getting disability, but, just a person who frittered away a lot of, again, good for her if that's what she wanted, and hopefully she seemed happy as well. To me, I just didn't think that that's anything that I wanted in my life, just to really do nothing and kind of waste time to wait till you die. Maybe she didn't see it that way. Unfortunately, we never had a huge conversation about that. But so anyways, we'll talk about gratitude. So I'm very grateful that I had her as a mother because I turned out the way that I am. I did meet my biological mother, who I'm very happy with as well, and I'm glad that I met her as well. I remember a funny thing when I first met my biological mother, and I have some half-brother and sisters. And I remember one of my half-sisters said to me the first day that I met my mom, she came to me and she goes, "Aren't you angry? She gave you away." And I was like, why would I be angry for her doing what she thought was best for her and me? How can you be angry with somebody for doing things like that? I'm grateful that I had things and the adversities that happened to me in my life because I think it's made me who I am. I mean, it gave me a work ethic. It made me be true to my word. So again, I'm grateful for all of those things. And now, even in my older age, I'm really reflecting a lot more on not focusing on the things that I don't have and focusing on the things that I have. I started a thing, and I still forget. I got a thing next to my bed that has a list of things I want to do every day. And sometimes I forget to look at it. And sometimes, it's late in the afternoon or almost before bed when I'm like, I forgot to think about what I'm grateful for today. So that's one of the things I put a list of things that I try to remember, and I'm still not always good at it. I mean, habits, you have to develop those over time, and especially when you're trying to break bad ones to get new ones. So my mindset is just being grateful for what I have. And I think when you have that, it really changes your perspective because you stop focusing on money so much and material things. And now my currency is relationships. I mean, I've recently rekindled some old ones or tried to be more in those people's lives or see them a lot more than I ever had in the past. And I want to keep looking on that. I keep looking at the good things that happen in my life, the accomplishments that I have, the things that I think I can be proud of. Gratitude for the opportunities that I've had. Another thing, I'm not going to beat myself up on it, but I coached basketball. I think it was for like 6 or 7 years, middle school girls, and I'm just really mad that I didn't mentor and try and develop relationships. When I went there, it was more like, I want them to be better. I'm going to teach them to be better basketball players, and that's all I'm going to worry about. And I think I really squandered an opportunity there that I could have really developed and mentored and have things. You look back at things, and some people talk about, oh, this coach was something that meant something to me. And I've run into some of these girls, well after the fact, when I used to live in Manistee, and I'd see them in places, and you always think that maybe if I'd have done a better job, they'd have come up to me and said, oh, you made such a difference, and you taught me this and that, and that never happened. So I kind of feel like maybe I failed them a little bit, but I am grateful for the time I was able to spend with them. Hopefully I did teach something, whether they came up to me and never said anything. I did kind of come off as kind of a gruff, no nonsense person, so maybe that's why they've never approached me after. So yeah, like I said, I look at those things, my relationships, my health. I just focus on those things that are really good, and those that are important to me. And I'm very fortunate. Gosh, things, I think about all the other people who go through struggles and things. Once I turned to being an adult, most of my adversity stopped once I was in control, because I learned. And another thing that came, I remember I was just starting to drive, and my mom sent me to the store to get milk, and I had to pay with food stamps. And it was probably about another 6 or 8 months after that, I just said, no, I can't. I was ashamed, I think, which I shouldn't have been. Sometimes people need help. But just in my mind, I said, I'm never going to be in that position, which was probably another bad thing too, because I didn't ask a lot of people for help going through my life. When maybe I should have asked for a lot more help, and I should not have been embarrassed to ask for help. So things were a little tougher than they probably would have been if I would have just asked for help. But yeah, I just said, that's never going to happen to me. I'm going to make sure I can take care of my business, and that I never have to rely on anybody else. But it's okay to rely on other people. And that's another thing I'm working on changing, is asking for help more. Being able to rely on other people, don't thinking I have to do everything on my own, and that, I can't help. So I'm very fortunate that I've had, and I had friends who've always had my back and would have given me anything if I would have asked. I was just too proud a lot of times to ever ask. And again, they're not what normal people would call successful. They're average, ordinary people. But man, I love spending time with them. I love our conversations that we have. How we try to solve the world's problems when we have our conversations. So yeah, like I said, I'm really grateful for most things that's happened to me, and I'm just really trying to make a lot more use of my time before it's all gone. And I think with gratitude too, it's really helped me try and improve myself daily, become a better person. And I think if you have that gratitude, instead of looking at what you don't have, comparing yourselves to others, being proud of the things that you've done. I built a house not completely by myself, but a lot of it was done with my wife, myself, my father-in-law. Friends came a few times and helped me, mainly with the basement and things, but a lot of things, putting in floor joists, building trusses and putting them up, drywalling, running all the wiring. Somebody put it into the panel, but I ran everything, all the plumbing I ran. I remember when I came and had the plumbing inspection, the plumbing inspector was not happy with me because I did not glue. You're supposed to glue it. Oh, but I would have had to cut so much stuff apart, and he was pretty angry with me. And I told him, I said, I didn't know what I was doing. How much stuff I'd have to cut, because there were several things he told me to change. But I promised him when he came back the next time after I knew what I needed to do, everything would be glued. And he did check. And I passed, and my house was built. So I'm very proud of that. And during that same time that was happening, I worked a full-time job. I built the house, and my mom was dying of cancer. And I went to every appointment. I sat with her many times at length. So, I'm very proud of that. And I was glad that I got to spend that time. Was it stressful? Yeah, but I got through it. I look back on those times fondly. I can remember at times, because I lived in a trailer, and literally out the front door of the trailer, probably 7 feet away, was the house. So when I came home from work every day, when I came back from taking my mom to an appointment, there it was staring at me. And it was like, I can't put this off. I got to get it done. And I was very grateful for, I didn't get rich working at the company that I worked at from, I think, 1989 to 2004, pretty much the same company, but they allotted me the time to take off to be able to be with my mom. So, I mean, just so many grateful things, the relationships that I had, and you can look at all those bad things that happen to you and you can be angry and upset, but instead, think about the good things. Be grateful for the time that you had, the conversations that you had, the people that you had. I just have to keep working on this. So again, comment down below anything that you can think of that you're grateful for, how you go about every day, making sure that you keep yourself centered and on the ground and being grateful and having that gratitude for all the things that you do have and not pouting and whining about the things that you don't have. And I think, again, that just all goes, if you have that gratitude, I think it helps you be a better person, gives you better attitude, makes you stop being judgy, makes you stop having expectations of other people. But yeah, again, put in the comments anything you can think of. Remember, your smile makes me smile. Be kind, be grateful, and be helpful. Until next time.